All right, Lolita, thanks so much for being on the Friends with Wheels podcast. If I could start off by asking a little bit about you and how you started, that'd be great.
Hi, my name is Lolita Milena. I am an actor, writer, and producer, as well as dancing, because dance is what got me into acting in the first place. I am the first of my family to immigrate to the United States. I immigrated here when I was 2 years old by a foster family in Ohio. And the foster father, after 9 months of having me, broke my spinal cord in a fit of rage when I was 2 years old, leaving me permanently paralyzed from the waist down. I was then taken in by my current adopted family, and they specialized with helping children who are disabled or came from traumatized homes/situations. So from there, I grew up in the creative arts space. I began professionally dancing at the age of 5, which then progressed into theater, which then progressed into movies and television. And now I live in Los Angeles, and I've lived here for about 2 years.
Oh, that's cool. So, because I was gonna ask, how did you get into dancing? Because that's your passion.
Yeah, so I attended a lot of ballet shows back in my hometown, and I think it was the instructor noticed little me in my wheelchair was dancing in the ADA section of the theater every time I'd go. So they approached my parents and said, she has a really good sense of rhythm. She really seems to enjoy it. Would she like to be part of the company? And I stayed with that company for about 5.5, 6-ish years dancing ballet. And then I progressed into doing theater, which then opened up the doors to learning choreography for a lot of different classical dance. So I'm a classically trained dancer.
Yeah, I had no idea that you got into theater. I always loved theater. It's so amazing.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Like, what made you want to become an actor? Because you're also an actor, so like, could you talk a little bit about that?
Dance for me was also half dance, half acting because my first show was The Nutcracker, where I played Clara's little sister. So it was equal parts dance, equal parts getting to act at the age of like 5-ish years old. And my sisters used to tease me and say, "Well, you're really having fun for the rehearsal part, but the moment you get on the stage and you know that there's going to be 2,000, 3,000 people watching, you're going to get this thing called stage fright and you're never going to want to do it again." And opening night happened. I went out. I really enjoyed it. My sisters and my dad asked me how I felt, and I said, I had a great time, which basically told my parents, oh, this is something she really likes to do. And my father looked into a different avenue for me once I was kind of aging out of the certain roles with the company. And he found a different community theater program. And I had then gone to them and was with them for about, oh goodness, many years, over a decade, I was with that company. So I would say I did about 20-ish productions with them. So it just kind of progressed from the dancing to the acting, and the acting then became the first thing, and the dance became secondary.
hmm Do you remember the first audition you ever made? Like, when you got into acting?
For theater, the first one was Our Town when I was about 10 or 11 years old. And then for the first film as an adult, it was actually the 2022 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, that's cool.
Was my first audition as an adult.
hmm So how did you like get into like TV and all that kind of stuff? Because you did theater, you did dance, but you're now into TV, right?
Yes.
So what was that transition sort of like?
It was something I wanted to do when I was 10 years old. I was in a very, very small hometown film. Friends and family helped make it and stuff. And I really, really liked it. And it was it's different than theater. And I like that there's more of a subtlety with film that theater you just can't have because you need to be able to emote so the back seats can see you, which that's like the thing that was always in my head. And I liked how cinema was different. I watched a lot of movies with my mom growing up. We were both big movie buffs. That's how we really bonded. So I loved Hollywood. I loved the stuff that was coming out when I was growing up. And so when I finally got a manager and an agent and I got to start auditioning for these really cool projects, I found that this was something I had grown to love even more than theater, which I still love, but cinema really just took over my heart.
hmm I'm also a big movie buff. So, like, what are your favorite kind of movies that you look up to or that you keep tabs on?
Weirdly enough, horror. I watched a lot of scary movies with my sisters and my mom. So anything that's dark, and I like the experimental stuff, but I like horror because it's such a big genre. There's so many subgenres that you can utilize for so many different stories that you can tell. So I think that that's my favorite genre. So I love keeping up with the horror community.
I am the opposite of you. I hate horror. It's so
Oh,
scary.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, like I've seen, have you ever heard of like body horror? You know, like you know how people like that they're a certain way and then they transform into like something so
Yeah, like
horrendous.
The Thing or The Fly.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love that kind of stuff.
I like I like that kind of stuff, but also not like the actual horror where there's like someone stabbing someone or like blood. I don't like that one. It freaks me out.
Ah, we are very much opposites then.
Hmm. So, was there some sort of an actress or person that you looked up to in your career that you thought, I want to be like this person one day?
It's such a cliche to answer, but Meryl Streep, I watched so
Yeah.
many of her things as a kid. Like The River Wild is my favorite. I watched that with my mom and my sister who's deaf, and we both loved the fact that the deaf actor was actually deaf in real life, and they got to use sign language as such a cool tool throughout the film. So I liked Meryl Streep a lot growing up.
Yeah, I think there's also a movie that comes to mind like Coda with
Yeah, yeah.
there's like these deaf actors and then they're sort of communicating in sign language, so it's really
No,
cool.
I love seeing that in film, and I like watching those with my sister, especially when we were growing up. There weren't as many as there are now, so it's really nice to see it become more prevalent.
Watching those movies, what does it bring back any memories or does it sort of remind you of how you were growing up as a disabled individual?
For me, my sisters and I, we like to have this game of is the actor actually disabled? So we did not win many rounds of that growing up, but I think we would start winning a little bit more if we were to play that game today. So I really watched films and I didn't really think about the disabled aspect as in I didn't look at it as, oh, why can't there be more disabled actors? It was more so, I can't wait to just be in movies, and I happen to be disabled. I can't wait to be an actor or a writer and make these stories. So it was more so I was excited to see the frontier happen because of what I had growing up, which was it was there, but it was very, very sparsely sprinkled throughout. So I was more excited to see what is this going to become as I age with Hollywood. So that's how I saw it.
Hmm. So what is your work process when it comes to like acting or being in movies? Is there some sort of a process that you sort of take into account when considering a role like in horror or like in other genres?
I'm so fortunate that I get a lot of auditions now more than I did in the beginning, where I'm now being asked to audition for able-bodied parts and that they were are willing to change it to fit me. I just wrapped a film where the role was supposed to go to an able-bodied woman, but they liked the acting style, I guess, that I did so much that they said, well, why can't she just be in a wheelchair? And it's never brought up in the story, which I love seeing it just be so normalized, even in the audition space. Even if I don't get it, I love that now casting directors and producers are saying, yeah, let's see it. Like, why not? Instead of when I first started, it was very hard to get those auditions. So when I'm sitting there trying to plan for it, it's more so I just kind of look at it through an able-bodied lens of this is what they want. How can I do it? If I need to adapt it, how do I adapt it? Because growing up choreographing dances, I had to learn how to be a choreographer because I was the only disabled person in the dance company. So I look at that for auditions as I do with dances. How can I adapt it if I have to?
Hmm. What are some of the stories that you would like to see of disabled individuals more in movies?
I want to see us in horror and I want to see us more outside of the token or the first kill. I would like to see leading characters that are disabled in horror because there's so much you can do with that idea. And I want to see more than just one. I want to see big groups and see how it works and how creative can a writer get. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Is there anything that you sort of learned as an actor, as a dancer that you thought, I can't, I was able to do this. I could, achieve so much more if I keep at it.
Hmm. I'm not sure. I've always just been a very impatient girl. I've always been very much, well, if I can imagine it happening, why can't why can it not happen? And I think it's more so producers and directors just need to learn to have that kind of open mindset of like, hey, why not? And it's happening. And I'm so happy to hear that it is happening and I'm seeing it happen. So I don't know if that really answers your question.
Yeah, sure. I kind of was that I should have asked that very clearly, but yeah, that answer is enough. So, are there any sort of other projects on the horizon for you?
Right now, it's a lot of writing. So I'm really excited that I've met so many great people that they come to me and they say, hey, we have this cool idea, but you're disabled. So you would be like, these are all able-bodied people coming to me saying, hey, can you write this? And I go, yeah, absolutely. Let me sit down and figure this out. So right now, it's a lot of really fun writing aspects. The auditions are still happening. I'm hoping to hear back from a couple of cult horror classics that I got to audition for. Again, not disabled, able-bodied parts. I'm so excited to even say that I got to have those auditions, even if I don't get it. Um, so outside of the auditions, it's really the writing now is finally taking a front seat. Whereas when I first moved here, it was really trying to get the acting jobs was my big priority. So now the writing gets a chance to shine.
Yeah. Oftentimes people audition parts for certain roles to get the leading role, to get the leading man or the leading actress in a certain movie. Were you always sort of thinking that in the back of your mind? Were you like, I want to be the leading actress in a wheelchair for for this movie, for this role?
Well, all of us do, but I'm also a realist and like I need a job, I need money. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that'd be great. But I'm pretty sure like everyone wants to be the leading lady, the leading man. Everyone wants to be the top build or the second top build. So for me, it's more so I just want to act. I want to be on the sets. I want to gain the experience. I just want to do the thing that I love, which is be in the Hollywood scene. So for me, it's like the cherry on top. If I get to be the leading person, if I get to be towards like the top three build, that'd be great. But it's more so I'm just happy to be here and I'm happy to get work where I can.
Hmm. I know that you do horror and that's kind of like your main thing, but are there other genres that you want to dive into or tap into more as a disabled
I
actress?
want to do dramas. I love dark dramas. I love drama as a whole. I'd also love to do a period piece someday, like, or a super cool fantasy, like a Game of Thrones spinoff would be so much fun. That's like a dream role is to be in a Game of Thrones spinoff. That would be great. I'm really into fantasy. I'm really into sci-fi. So anything along horror, sci-fi, fantasy, drama can mix into any of those. So anything like that, I don't find myself to be very funny. So I don't think comedy's my strong suit. And I never watched rom-coms growing up. So romance, I'll take the job. It's just not like I need to be in a rom-com. Like, that's kind of how it is for
Yeah,
me.
that's kind of my genre, the
Rom-coms?
rom-com thing. Cause my dad's like, why you watch a lot of rom-coms? And I still do, cause I like them.
Yeah. It's good. It's like a nice, long day at work. You lean back, you just relax on the couch, watch a good rom-com. For me, that's more so relaxing with some popcorn and watching John Carpenter's a thing.
Hmm. Yeah. So have you talked to any other up and coming disabled actors? Cause you've done this for like how long as an actor, dancer?
I've been doing this since I was 5 and I'm gonna be
Wow.
26. Very long time. I'm really just now gaining a sense of who's who in Hollywood in the disabled scene. I'm still learning. Still learning who's who. I'm still trying to remember faces and names. So I don't particularly have an answer for that one yet. I hope to be able to come back and be like, so,
Oh
but
yeah.
I'm still learning and trying to remember everybody.
Yeah. When have you been around sort of these A-list, actors and all that kind of stuff? And also, like, what was that experience like? Have you got to work with any A-list people, like fa actors in the industry for many years, or like,
A-list, probably not A-list. I think the highest I've gotten to have the honor to work with or even befriend is really like your C and your B list. So like you got your top runners for like cult classic TV shows. My very first breakout film with Lionsgate was with Paris Burrell's of Alexa and Katie fame and Ruby Rose of Orange is the New Black and Pitch Perfect fame. So that was a huge mind whirl for me. Um, Nowadays, I just kind of I see them as people. I don't get starstruck. I think that's my thing. So when people say, "Oh, do you know so and so and so and so?" I'll either say yeah or no, but I wasn't starstruck when I met them, if that makes sense. I don't really have that personality type.
yeah, yeah, I get that a lot. So like, is what have you like for those who want to be an actor, a disabled actor just like yourself, what tips of advice would you give them to sort of help them guide on their journey to get there?
Be persistently stubborn, I should say. You're gonna receive 999 no's, but it just takes the one yes. And even if it's just a one line in a movie, half a line in a TV show, it is a start, and you just gotta keep going at it, and you have that start. Um, for me, it's always younger me was always kind of sad whenever I would see this one was a no, this one was a no, this one was a no, but then it led to a huge yes. And I got to say, I got to work on a Lionsgate film. So even if it's an indie film, a small project, a small part, it is a start and it is helping you move forward. And so you got to be persistent, you got to be stubborn, you got to be patient. I suck at being patient, so I'm learning along with you. I'm really bad at waiting.
Yeah, I'm very bad at waiting too. Those one-liners are kind of pretty cool. Have you like done any one-liners or seen any one-liners in films?
Uh, Me, I've had plenty of auditions for day player roles. I'm waiting to hear back on one right now. Um, I'm trying to think. It's just it's hard to piece together because I don't watch a lot of television, and the movies I kind of just like replay them all the time. The old ones I grew up with. I'm really bad about it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. It's yeah, there are a couple one-liners, in the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Those are the ones that are my favorites.
Yeah. Get
I'll
to
be
the
back.
chopper.
Yeah. Those are my favorite. Yeah. Anyhow, all right.